Heidi's doing a front squat. In order to do this exercise, the bar must be set at her mid-sternum and her feet must be hip width apart and parallel. Her index finger and pointer finger must hook onto the barbell and be shoulder width apart, and her elbows must be straight. On the eccentric phase, her hip joint and knee joint are going through flexion, as well as she will be inhaling. And on the concentric phase, her hip joint and knee joint are extending and she is exhaling. Heidi is performing a barbell back squat. For this exercise, the barbell has to be at her chest bone level and her feet must be hip width apart and parallel. On the eccentric phase, her hip joint and knee joint are flexing, she is inhaling, and on the concentric phase, her hip joint and knee joint are extending as well as she is exhaling. Heidi is performing a deadlift. In this exercise, her feet must be hip width apart and parallel, and her hands should be shoulder width apart, and the barbell has to be close to her shin. On the concentric phase, she is exhaling and her knee and hip joint are extended. In the eccentric phase, she is inhaling and her hip joint and knee joint are flexing, and she has to maintain a neutral spine in this exercise. Heidi is performing a box squat. During this exercise, her feet must be directly under her knees and her feet have to be parallel. On the concentric phase, her hip joint and knee joint are extending as well as she is exhaling. On the eccentric phase, her hip joint and knee joint are flexing as well as she is inhaling. She must maintain a neutral spine during this exercise. Heidi is demonstrating a one-arm row. During this exercise, for this setup, she must have one knee on the bend and the other foot has to be flat on the floor. She must maintain a neutral spine as well as her arm must be directly under her shoulder joint. On the concentric phase, she is exhaling as well as her shoulder joint is hyper-extending and her elbow joint is flexing and the shoulder girdle is retracting. On the eccentric phase, she is inhaling and her shoulder girdle is protracting and her shoulder joint and elbow joint are flexing.
Heidi is now demonstrating a dumbbell bench press. For her start position, she should be laying flat on a bench with her feet planted flat on the floor and her knees at a 90-degree angle. During the eccentric phase, she's inhaling as her shoulder joint moves through horizontal abduction and her shoulder girdle goes through retraction. During this phase, her elbow joint also is going into flexion. During her concentric phase, she will be exhaling and her shoulder joint is going through horizontal adduction and her shoulder girdle is protracting. Her elbow joint will also be moving through extension. Heidi is now demonstrating a barbell bench press. For her setup, the J-cups must be at her wrist height and her knees are the same height as her hips. Her feet are flat on the floor. During her eccentric phase, she will be inhaling as her shoulder joint goes through horizontal abduction and her shoulder girdle goes through retraction. During this phase, her elbow joint is also going through flexion. On the concentric phase, she'll be exhaling as her shoulder joint goes through horizontal adduction, her shoulder girdle goes through protraction, and her elbow joint is going through extension. Heidi is now demonstrating a bent over barbell row. For her start position, her feet are directly under her hips and are parallel. Her hands are wider than shoulder width and she must maintain a neutral spine. During the concentric phase, she'll be exhaling while rising the bar up and her scapula will be retracting and hyperextending of the shoulder joint and elbow is flexing. During the eccentric phase, she's inhaling and lowering the bar. Her shoulder joint is going through flexion and her scapula is protracting and her elbow is extending. Heidi is now demonstrating a pull-up. For her setup, she'll have a pronated grip on the bar and her hands are going to be shoulder width apart. So during her concentric phase, she'll be exhaling as she's going through shoulder girdle retraction and shoulder joint extension and also elbow flexion. During her eccentric phase, she'll inhale as she's going through shoulder joint flexion, elbow extension, and shoulder girdle protraction. Heidi is now demonstrating a chin-up. For her setup, she will approach the bar with her shoulder joint going in flexion as her hands are in a supinated position. Her hands should also be shoulder width apart. And while she's going through the concentric phase, she'll be exhaling as her shoulder girdle is retracting, her shoulder joint is extending, and her elbow joints are flexing. During the eccentric phase, she'll be inhaling while going through shoulder joint flexion, shoulder girdle protraction, and elbow extension.